Before I get into my review of Baywatch, I would just like to announce this review will contain very strong language. Viewer discretion is absolutely advised. Baywatch is directed by Seth and stars Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron. This is based on the very popular 90s TV show starring David Hasselhoff and Pamela Anderson. Look, if you're going to get a movie called Baywatch, you know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get stupid comedy, some meta humor, a story that doesn't mean jack shit, and hopefully a fun time. Now, this goes on with the modern trend of reviving 80s or 90s comedies and turning them into movies. They did that with the Jump Street movies, which they did very well, both of them. Chips, I didn't see it, so I can't comment on that. Now we have Baywatch. I was not excited to go into this movie. I was very cautious walking in. I'm a huge fan of Dwayne Johnson, so right off the bat, I was excited to see him do something like this because he's never really done raunchy comedy beforehand. And Zac Efron, despite him playing the same character in every movie he's in nowadays, I was looking forward to seeing him work alongside Dwayne Johnson, or in this case, The Rock. I'll call him The Rock to make everything better. So I went into this movie. I saw it. This movie's fucking terrible. I don't even know where to start. Like, you go into a movie like this and you want to laugh? I didn't laugh once. When you have a comedy, you want to make your audience laugh. That's the biggest task when you make a comedy. And this movie didn't make me laugh. I saw it with a group of people that I work with a few nights ago, and none of us laughed. Sure, we may have chuckled a little bit, but not enough to the point where we died with laughter. And that makes me sad. And look, I didn't expect this movie to be the Citizen Kane of comedies, but I was hoping that maybe I would come out of it saying, oh, it was bad, but in a good way. But no, this movie's bad, that's bad. I mean, where do I even start? The writing is absolutely horrendous. The jokes fall very flat into the pits of the ocean. Haha, see what I did there? No, not really. I don't give a fuck. Seth Gordon, he directed the very fantastic Horrible Bosses from a few years ago, and that's really the only film of his that I've come to like. I didn't really care for Identity Thief, and this film is the worst thing I've seen him tackle. Like, it is so bad that it tries to capture what the Jump Street films did so well from Phil Lord and Chris Miller, but instead, it fails tremendously here. You watch this movie, and everything just feels so forced and out of left field that it just doesn't feel right, you know? And the story there just isn't compelling. It is super predictable. I thought it was going to be an entertaining story, but instead it was just very mediocre and sloppy. And speaking of sloppy, the editing is a joke. There are so many points where the editing just made me go, what is going on? Why is this happening? And 1 second ago you were hating on this character, and then the next you're loving this character. Like, what is going on? The transitions are so ridiculous to the point where it made me cringe so much. I couldn't even believe the atrocity that was going into the way this movie was done. And you know, I will say that the only thing that I liked about this movie was the chemistry between The Rock and Zac Efron. They're both really talented people. They work off each other very, very well. I enjoyed their chemistry and their camaraderie between each other. I thought it was great. And it's sad that the movie that they team up together for the first time is this piece of shit. It's terrible, and I feel so bad for them. And you know, I gotta be honest, the performances weren't really that good. No one was really funny. You know, Alexandra Daddario's there, and she's, you know, hot as hell, and she was bad. The blonde one, she was bad. Priyanka Chopra, who is incredibly talented. You know, I've seen a few episodes of Quantico, and she's really good on that show, but oh my god, as the villain, she falls... Oh, she is terrible. Oh my god. She feels like a terrible Bond villain, and they make a joke about her being the Bond villain. She's like, come on, I'm not a Bond villain yet. No, in all seriousness, a lot of the characters here are absolutely terrible, and don't even get me started on John Bass. You know, this guy's a newcomer, and this was going to be his big break, and I feel so bad for bashing this guy, but this guy was terrible. The humor was not even smart. That's the thing, and I hate that I'm going to have to keep comparing this to the Jump Street films, but it's the truth. The humor in those movies were really, really smart while still being stupid at the same time. Here it's just plain stupid, and it's ridiculous. I don't know what they were trying to go for, but whatever they were trying to do, it did not work at all. Also, the movie is almost 2 hours long. Because this movie was so mediocre and boring and pointless, I don't see the point of it being super long. Like, I don't understand what they were trying to do by making this movie almost 2 hours long. I don't get it. I'm so confused and baffled by this. It hurts my head. I mean, fuck. They tried to inject serious stuff in this movie. What's the point? It's a movie based on a TV show about lifeguards running in slow motion. What the fuck were they thinking? This is one of the worst movies I've seen this year so far. It is definitely the worst comedy I've seen this year thus far as well. I don't know if there will be a comedy worse than this. There probably will be, but as of right now, this is the worst comedy I've seen so far this year. And while The Rock and Zac Efron have really good chemistry, everything else is just downright terrible. I feel bad for everybody. Baywatch gets a D-. Guys, if you're going to see this movie, which I hope to God you're not, tell me if you're looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I'll see you guys soon.